Greetings, fellow toolsmiths. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus. Episode 14, Embracing the Benefits of Titanium.
So from here on out, now that I'm done with the gear bench, as that was the priority, the next big grind, I would say. So there's a few different routes. One is I could start ramping up electric deep mining drills, which uses electricity to provide infinite resources from underground. Which I'm going to be pulling. So what to do next? Set up deep drills. And it would give me an income of whatever resource I install it on. The next thing I could do is exploit... what are they called? Exploit exotics. So the reason to exploit exotics, the way I'd probably do it is I would set up a vapor condenser. So I'll unlock the vapor condenser. And the vapor condenser requires composites, which would require me to get a materials processor. So it would basically be a grind for like 60 electronics for the materials processor so I could actually process composites. And then a grind for even more electronics for the electronic furnace so I could produce composites. So that's 120 electronics, which is like, boom, it's a lot of grind. But once I have it, those are the big electronic grinds. After that, it's like a lot more tolerable. But exploiting exotics, well, I'm going to take it off the poll because that's kind of a misnomer. Make composites is going to be a poll option. All right, doggies, go. Get that wolf. Go. Go get it. You don't know how to use doors, do you? Other options. I could travel to the desert. For trophies. So I've traveled to the ice for trophies, but not the desert yet. So if you want to see the desert, you can vote for that. Besides deep drills, what else could I do? I could set up running water in the base. So that's another one. Or get a forge. Get a foundry. Or improve the base. Because my base, I've acknowledged, is like kind of a mess. So there you go. There's some polls written out, so you could choose. Just let me know what you wanted me to do, and I'll work on it. Oh, God, what did I just unlock with my blueprint? Masonry bench? Yeah, it was a misclick. I don't really care. I have enough points. But that's pretty dumb. Oh, I didn't include, all right, one sec. I'm going to add a few more. Tame a mount and start farming. Sorry. Now, this is the poll I'd like to offer. Things that I overlooked. You were still trying to figure out how to get to that wolf. That's just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. I don't think they've even touched the water trough, because I'm not really sure that they know how, because of just the base is weird. One of the issues of being on an island. Yes. No regrets. I like being on an island. Let's get my fire on and make it daytime. Oh, you know what? I should have pet one of my dogs before I went to sleep for the coziness bonus, but oh well. Now, there's some other animal husbandry to be done. I just want to point out, once you have more points, you can also have chickens, cows, and sheep, and dogs. They just cost a lot of exotics and ren that I don't have, but it's possible to request, like, earth familiar farm animals, even like German shepherds and chocolate labs and horses. So these are all like, and cats, you know, these are all things that you can get if you earn enough. I just haven't yet. And good job, puppies. Ragtatter now has tough as leather too. I think they managed to get that dog, or the wolf. So it looks like you guys want me to get a foundry. Alright, so I'm going to start working on that, even though there's time left in the poll. And that's going to allow me to get, like, titanium tools, which is great. So that is pretty cheap, actually. It's 5 plates, 8 electronics. So let's get the plates first. Eight electronics, which I can make 3 of them, and then I'm out of copper. But I have more copper in the... Oh, Jesus! For a second, I thought that was a bear, because it was, like, way in my face. I guess they ran off and then teleported to me. Yep, that spooked me. Dear Lord. And then the other resources for the foundry. Concrete mix, 15. How much do I have now? I've got 5, so I need a little bit more concrete. Which is stone and silica. Are you guys set to follow? You are. Okay, so let's get some... I actually have the silica. So, hold on. I don't even need to do that. I have a giant amount of silica just chilling here. Because I was making carbon fiber out of it, but like I obtained way more than I needed. How is this not oh, because there's a door there? Is it these doors? Yeah, it's that door is making this not sheltered. That's so ridiculous. So I already had 8 concrete mix in there. And I'm making 7 more. And the foundry required 15. Oh, okay, yeah, that's done. And glass, and I already have the glass. So, wow, I basically already have a foundry. I don't even need to do anything. Just make some 5 more electronics, which requires organic resin. Okay, sounds good. So, current priority is make a foundry and titanium tools. Because there's no point in having a foundry without titanium tools. So some of the titanium tools, if you take a look, the pickaxe does not require composites. Actually, all the titanium tools won't. So titanium pickaxe, knife, finally axe, sickle, spear, and hammer I will unlock. And I'll make them in order of operation as me caring about them. I could have also done the composite spear, but it's going to be a while until I get composites. And then the bow, if you're wondering, is also composite bow, so there's no point in me getting that yet either, because I don't have the means to make composites. So, the organic resin is just me getting some wood, because I think I already have oxides in my mortar and pestle. Cheers! World bosses do respawn, yes. Consider that this game is a multiplayer game, and you might not be the one that kills them. If they didn't respawn, it'd be a big old problem, wouldn't it? Now, there is one weird thing I will, as a caveat, which I'll say about open world. There's a lot of missions in open world that have you open up pathways to... So to back up a little bit, there are sections of the map here which are caves. Is that even true on Olympus, though? Does Olympus have caves? I think it does. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Olympus has caves. So there's actually a cave right here, which is the South Cave, which leads to a desert. Or actually, it's here, I think. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So there are caves on the world that need to be, like, drilled open to open up, like, a faster method to get from one biome to another. And those cave missions only really need to be done once, because once they're done, the cave is open. So there are some objectives, and this is the one issue I have with the open world when you're playing multiplayer. Some of these operations here, if you...
Welcome back.
I don't want you talking to me. I'm just going to ignore their chatter.
Most of this planet's still a blank on the map.
Which is the...
Zones, which means
Actually, I don't know if any of these are the open ones. I know on the Styx world, most of the introduction open world missions have you open caves. But it's a little weird because those caves only ever open once, and those quests kind of bug out as a result of that weirdness. But yeah, that would be my only hesitation of doing open world is you can get like progression blocked, and that happened to me playing Styx once, where in order to to try to explain a little bit better, there is missions like this one where in order to do Deep Vein, I would need to do Ice Storm. So imagine there being a mission to open up a cave where you have to put like a laser on the cave's wall to complete the mission, but the cave's already open, so you can't physically place the laser, which means you can't physically finish the mission, which means all the other missions that are a prerequisite cannot be done. So that happened to me once in the Styx map where it's like, cool, I can't do any of these missions because all the caves are already open. I'm screwed. And I don't know if there's a fix for that. So just know that in open world mode, there's some issues. Not a lot of issues, but there's some issues. All right, back to what I was doing. Making resin. Before I get too distracted. So the resin is required for the electronics, which is required for the Foundry, whatever it's called. Well, I think that's all I need. Oh, yeah, get my concrete. And this bad boy is ginormous. And it will functionally replace the forge. But this is why I have a high roof in this room. Because as you see, it cannot fit in a 1 high. It needs to go to a 2 high. Ragtatter and Canadian Hussy, you're going to be in the way. So come out here. Come on. Move it, puppies. Yeah, you could bring your character to other worlds to complete it in another world and then travel back. It's just, like, unfortunate that that would be a resolution. So I'm going to get rid of this forge because it's about to become obsolete. And then I'm going to move the furnace so it's not in the way. The forge is going to get destroyed. And the foundry is going to go down. Oh, come on, foundry. Stupid mammoth head. Yeah, I think the mammoth head was clipping. All right. And, Mammoth, you go here. There we go. Grab the electrical tool. Wire it up. Maybe not a wire like that. Let's wire it up. Stick all our metals back in. My inventory filled up full of nonsense. And now we have this lovely electrical foundry, which allows us to make titanium stuff. So titanium pickaxe is probably the first one I want, because I have a very limited amount of titanium. So I'm going to make a titanium pickaxe to get more titanium, like as my first upgrade. So I'm going to remove titanium smith from this steel axe, and then put it on this one. Replace my broken one, and then get a titanium one. So in order to make this first pickaxe, I need steel screws, and that is it. Boom. And then I don't have the electrical furnace yet, so I'm still going to rely on this concrete one for now. So here is the super awesome pickaxe. And this is like meta. So the titanium pickaxe is your best pickaxe, and then I'm putting the titanium harvesting on it. So it's going to be able to get new titanium real good. And they have, like, incredibly good durability, too, the titanium tools, as you'd imagine. They're made of titanium. I have a bunch of steel here, and platinum, but almost no titanium now. There's 6 titanium. Is that enough to get the axe? No. 12 is required for the axe. What about the knife? No, that requires 8. So, yeah, titanium is my bottleneck. But I have you know, a high-yield titanium weapon now. Or pick, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Big ol' foundry. I like how my foundry is in, like, my, like, mammoth cave. it's pretty ghetto. Alright. Got my attachments back on where I want them. And if you want me to continue getting titanium tools, you can vote for it. So here's the poll for what I work on next. Set up deep drills, make composites, which is to make a lot of electrical, you know, components. Travel to the desert for trophies. Set up running water, which would be an electrical pump and water filter. Improve the base, tame amount, start farming, or make titanium tools. While you vote on that, I'm gonna top up my own food and water. Oh, my, hello. Bye. Now that I have a bunch of steel, it occurs to me I should get a thermos. Which is tier 3 thermos. So steel, glass, epoxy. And thermoses, I'm going to want 2 of them, actually. But they hold 5 liters instead of 1. And they're good to put in... I like to have 1 thermos of cold water and 1 thermos of hot brew of something. So I don't have a kitchen for that yet. But once I do, that's going to be pretty handy. And the old water... I don't even know what to do with this water skin. I'm just going to... I'll throw it on the ground. I don't need it anymore. I destroy it, but it's not made of anything that I care about. So the purpose of the thermos is it can hold just a lot more liquid. And then eventually I'll have some sort of kitchen stove to allow me to make... Actually, I can do it on a fireplace, can't I? Yeah, I can make hot cocoa on a fireplace. Yeah, I'll just do that. Or coffee or whatever I want to make. But I have to wait for this water purifier to purify some more water. So let's make a, let's make some coffee. So I need to go get coffee beans. And then after, well, I'll wait on that. I'll just put the thermos in the fire for later. So you guys want me to set up deep drills, I think. That seems to be the popular option. So I've got a titanium node right over here to deep drill titanium. A stone's throw away from the base. Let's do it. Set up deep drilling. So the first, so the water wheel that I have is generating 2 kilowatts. And I have nothing in the base that regularly requires power. And each deep drill is 2,000 kilowatts. So I probably am going to want another water wheel in the process. But let's just get this going now. So I'm going to need a little titanium to jumpstart the whole titanium deep drill process, because obviously I don't have 8. So I'm going to need to go find some more titanium to feed this. But once I have it running, I'll have an income of titanium, which is going to be really, really handy. And realistically, I'm probably going to want gold, copper, iron, titanium, and aluminum. Aluminum is kind of optional. I might not need a lot of it, but it wouldn't be bad to have if I could. But at least gold, copper, and titanium would be the really important ones, because I can always get iron, because it's pretty common. It's just, you will need more iron. So, for that to happen, does anyone remember if L2 still has titanium nodes? I'm not sure it does. But it's not that far away. I'll go check. So let's go bring the dogs with us so that they can kill things on the way. But I'm pretty sure that marker has no more titanium, so I'm going to have to hit up a different cave. Which is fine. There's other caves. Oh, the other thing I should do with more of my steel is to get the oxygen tank. So let's get that too, which lasts a lot longer than the air bag that I have. Now that steel is not a bottleneck, I could upgrade my my oxide oxygen production cycle, but like, I'd rather so the next the tier that will replace it. There's been a lot of other tiers in between, but I'm just gonna jump straight to tier 4, and tier 4 has you make oxygen through water. See, it requires water and power, and it just makes oxygen. And I'll do the oxygen synthesizer once I get there. I'm just wait. You know, I'm not even gonna wait for the oxygen tank to fill up. I'll swap to it once I come back home. So let's go mining for titanium. And I don't need a lot of titanium to get the first drill off the ground. All right, wolves. I need your help. Really? You ditched me? Lazy. I finally have something for them to hunt, and they're like, all right, time to go for a swim. Ah, I leveled up my Thermos knowledge, at least. So before I go mining, I want to ditch the stuff I just grabbed. Because I want a nice, empty inventory so I can fill it with ores. Different metals, and also like coal, oxide, salt, you can deep drill. Basically, you can even deep drill stone, to be honest. But different resources that you deep drill generate at different speeds. And titanium is pretty much the slowest, I think, because it's the last material. But it's still going to be better than having to travel farther and farther and farther away from my cave until I can thump it. At some point, I'll invest in thumping it, and then it will become less of an issue. Because the thumper takes a while to fully cycle, but once you fully cycle your thumper, it regenerates all the nodes around you. So all the tier 2 and tier 3 caves, the larger caves around me, will get refreshed with ores, and I'll be able to just get pretty much as many metals as I want locally without having to travel far. So that's to say, if you can find running water next to a tier 3 cave, that's a really good spot for a base. Because running water gives you... Well, you don't need running water, but it gives you access to be able to easily generate cheap power. And then a tier 3 cave gives you pretty much every metal that you want in high quantities that you can refresh through thumping. And the way the thumper works, to get a little ahead of myself, is the more voxels, the more, like, things it has to regenerate. Oh, you know what I realized? I could make a trophy out of the worms. But the more voxels it has to regenerate, the greater the, like, threat is from the wildlife. So when you're thumping, the wildlife around you, like, absolutely wants to destroy the thumper because it's loud and obnoxious. So that's the challenge, is to keep the thumper alive. Because once the thumper gets damaged enough, it deactivates, and you won't regenerate voxels anymore. So we got some titanium. That's probably enough to set up the deep drill, so I don't need to go to a different cave, which is fortunate. And while I'm here, I might as well top up on everything else. And there's a very noticeable difference of how fast I mine things with this titanium pick versus even the steel one. I'm just... oh, frickin' thing. Just a few swings. I think my wolves are massacring Terranuses that are outside. Oh, more titanium. Sweet. And if you're wondering, I have switched to my copper mining pick to mine the copper, because even a steel copper mining pick does way more because of that plus 40% than a titanium one would without. So the titanium pick is a 140 yield, and this is a 130 yield. And the 130 yield plus 40 is more than a 140, obviously. Math is not hard to do. And even more titanium. This cave has been awesome. So I have maybe enough titanium. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to damage my ramp. I might have enough titanium for even 2 drills, or 3 drills. I would just need to source the power through hydroelectric, through the water wheels. But, yeah, setting up, like, 3 drills would be awesome. Because copper, gold, titanium, all that stuff is needed in high volume. I'm gonna get platinum, I guess. Knowing the rest of this stuff is like iron. Can those nodes be hidden in the water? Generally not, but it's not impossible. It's just really unlikely. Because it requires like some weird terrain gen. So there are, and even the underwater caves, I got pneumonia. Even the underwater caves, you'll resurface to above water to do the mining. So even underwater caves won't have underwater resources. So generally there's like nothing to mine underwater. So this is the gold, right? Yeah. It would be kind of far to come all the way out here for gold, but if I must. I'm also out of one of the prime meats, so I'm back to like watermelon. Because I haven't been doing a lot of hunting. Alright, wolves. Have you been good? Oh, one of them died. Ragtatter died, I think. Unless he got stuck somewhere. I don't see his marker on the map. So he must have died. Likely he died because, Canadian Hussy just, like, monopolized the kills. And, Ragtatter didn't have anything to kill. Which is unfortunate. Let's see if we can't, find his body somewhere. It's pretty unusual. He had, Endless Hunger tier 3 and, like, pretty good stats. Unless he's, like, teleported somewhere weird. No, I really don't. Oh, no, he is stuck. I was like, there's nothing around here that could kill one of my pets. He got stuck on the ramp down here. And I haven't traveled far enough for him to just, like, instantly teleport to me. Oh, okay, he teleported now. That's probably him going for the kill over there. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's not a lot that can kill, like, except for the wave battles that you have to fight. And even then, if you get Endless Hunger, they're gonna be healing probably more than taking damage. So it's really, your pets, like, once they're level 10-ish, are pretty tanky. It takes a lot to bring them down. So this pet, for instance, has 55% physical resist and 900 health. To put that in perspective, I have 500 health and 40% melee resist. They're stronger than I am. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be easily taken out. Also, worth noting, pets cannot starve to death or dehydrate to death. It just brings them to the edge of death. But completely 100% neglecting your pets until you need them is a legit strategy, and you just feed them. Because when you feed them, they get like a massive 1000% health regen buff temporarily. So, like, if you do have mounts and you don't want to have to just constantly tend to them, you can just ignore them until you need them. Especially if all your mounts do is, like, move heavy stuff long distance. Like, typically you would use woolly mammoths, tuskers, or buffalo that way. So if I do get a mount, I could go for Moa if I want movement speed, or like woolly mammoth if I want hauling. If you ever vote for me to do that. So now that I've got the titanium I need for the drills, I need to be making... Oh, wolves just killed something, because I just got experience. They probably killed that wolf that I ran into. Let's get this titanium melted down. And then I'll melt some of the iron into iron, and then the other stuff into steel. Get the platinum and copper. The vestige I have... What is the caveworm requirement? Oh, yeah, just wood. Okay. So I have another trophy. I forgot that, like, the caveworms have their own trophy. And you don't need a taxidermy knife for it. It's sort of free. Oh. Yeah. Alright, these guys need water. Can you learn to go drink from the trough? Oh, you know, there is the, I don't think I restricted them. So there's a, if you look at the trough here, you can say, like, what creatures are allowed to use it, if you only have people that are specific, creatures specifically allowed to use it. And then on the creatures themselves, I just drank freaking poison water. Yo, stop moving. On the creatures themselves, you can say, like, hey, just drink from any container. So they should be able to just drink from that trough if they could learn to walk normally. But they're doing weird things, so they're not behaving proper. Well, at least Ragtatter's here. But Canadian Hussy is can't figure out how to get up. Some of that is just I need to like improve my foundations, and that should fix everything. So for the first drill, I need 6 more carbon fiber. So that is epoxy and aluminum. And I have epoxy over here, so I'll just take a little bit from this and some resin from this. I'm running low on food. Soon I'm going to need to go hunting for meat supply, because I mean, at this point, I already have, like, tier 3 stuff. So any additional tech points are just, like, nice but not needed. I wouldn't mind leveling up higher, but, like, it's not a barrier for me anymore. Burgertron, thank you for tuning in. Welcome. I know, it's scary out there. Storm damage isn't a thing that happens to pets. Obviously, because, like, they naturally occur in this environment, so, like, you know, the storm isn't a factor for them, like it is for me. Now, that's partially true. They do suffer from environmental temperatures, but not, like, exposure. There's no exposure threat for the dogs. All right, there's the titanium. So carbon fiber, which needs aluminum. Do I have any aluminum? I do, 6. And I needed 6. So I'm using up every last ounce of aluminum I have for the first drill. So obviously I'm going to need more aluminum for any additional drills I'm going to want to set up. Because I don't think there's aluminum anywhere else in the base. Nope. I didn't mine any. Yeah, so that's the next bottleneck to probably clear. For the drill, we need 15 electronics. So I'm out of epoxy and copper. We do have some copper in the smelter, but I'm basically out of copper as well. Can you just get in here? Just, like, figure out... Stop trying to climb up a... See, you can see it's not hurting him. But they keep whimpering. This is one of the reasons why I'm like, ugh, tames, because they're dumb. Unless you have, like, a stupid-proof base, which I do not have. We're going to want steel screws, but that's no problem, because I have lots of steel and already steel screws. And then even more aluminum. So I need to find an aluminum node. That's essentially what's stopping me from getting my first drill going. Because I've now got... And copper. So those 2 resources. I got dysentery. That's fun. Let's see if I can't fix some... While I wait for the storm to pass, fix some of my, like, dog being stupid problems. What the hell? That's not dirt. It's for real? Whatever. Apparently, my prospector doesn't know what dirt looks like. How do you get to see the signs above animals more clearly? What do you mean? Oh, those animals? Oh, I get what you mean. You mean the wild animals, not my pets. There is a bunch of different ways to do it, but in the survival tree, there's sea animal health bars, which I picked up. But there's also attachments that you can do that as well. Sorry, my brain was like thinking you meant my pets, and I was like, I can't see my pets any better than normal. And then realized you didn't mean my pets. Really? I'm building a ramp for you and you swim away? Come on. Come on, dummy. I built a whole damn ramp for you. I moved Earth for your benefit. Thank you. There we go. So Canadian Hussy is now up. I mean, that's nice to have, because, like, that was going to be a recurring problem, obviously. Let's build a ramp on the other ones as well. Because I am sure they will need it. And I want to just get ahead of their, like, stupidity so that they don't keep getting caught on everything. If you're wondering, there's no, like, alternative ramp. There's no, like, corner ramps or anything. So, in this spot, there's nothing to put there, really. And then I was considering having a wraparound. Yeah, I'll do foundations that go all the way around. You didn't vote for this, but it's the wolves just keep getting caught on terrain. And then howling because they can't get to where they want to be. And it's just going to be a recurring annoyance unless I solve it. And dirt foundations can't break, resist tier 7 storms. So they can break. It would require like a hostile to like munch on them for a while. But they won't they're not likely to get munched on enough to break, because there's no, like, alligators or anything. Crocodiles, rather. There's no, like, crocodiles or other things like that around here to do that. So. Although you guys happen to be, like, exactly where I'm trying to set this up. It's like you have... There you go. Now get dirted. So I'm just creating like a dirt patio for pathing reasons.
Thank you for tuning in to Icarus, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. But please keep in mind that this series was streamed as a marathon, so feedback cannot be incorporated. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits, and all the live viewers that turned out for the marathon. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow prospectors.